AI explains the history of elves. Elves have a long and varied history in mythology, folklore, and popular culture. While the concept of elves has evolved over time, their origins can be traced back to ancient mythologies and folk beliefs. Here is an overview of the history of elves. Norse mythology. Elves first appeared in Norse mythology, where they were called Alfar. Norse texts often mention two types of elves, the light elves, or Ljósálfar, who were associated with beauty and goodness, and the dark elves, Dökkálfar, who were considered malevolent or mischievous. In these myths, elves were supernatural beings with magical powers, often living in their own separate realm, such as Alfheim. Germanic folklore. Elves were also present in Germanic folklore, where they were sometimes seen as helpful household spirits or as more malevolent beings. In this context, elves were often associated with nature, as they were believed to live in forests, meadows, or near bodies of water. British folklore. In British folklore, elves were portrayed as small, mischievous beings with magical powers. They often played tricks on humans, sometimes even causing harm. Over time, elves in British folklore began to merge with the concept of fairies, and the two terms became somewhat interchangeable. Romanticism and Victorian literature. During the Romantic and Victorian periods, the portrayal of elves began to change. Writers and poets, inspired by the folklore and mythologies of the past, began to depict elves as more benevolent, wise, and ethereal beings. This shift in representation can be seen in works such as J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings series. Modern fantasy literature and pop culture. Elves have continued to evolve in modern fantasy literature, films, and other forms of media. Today, elves are often depicted as tall, slender, and graceful beings with pointed ears and a close connection to nature. They are often portrayed as skilled archers, warriors, or magic users, and are typically associated with wisdom, beauty, and longevity. Overall, the history of elves is a rich and varied one, with their portrayal and characteristics changing significantly over time. From their early appearances in ancient mythologies to their modern depictions in popular culture, elves have remained a captivating and enduring part of human imagination. Like, subscribe and all that other YouTube stuff, but most importantly leave a comment with other interesting prompts for the AI or tags I can try for the image generation.